Welcome back to Pragmatic AI, where we talk about using AI in the real world. What works, how to use it well, and when it causes more harm than good. Practical tools, real trade-offs for builders and business leaders. My guest today is my friend Jordan Keller, writer, producer, content director, burgeoning programmer, just constant curious person. So Jordan, obviously you have a pretty complicated set of roles and set of interests. I did kind of, when I was pitching and I said, Jordan, my friend, the writer, right? So that was kind of like the easiest one, but obviously you're much more than a writer in your current and present. So can you just kind of say hi and talk about like, what do you do? What have you done? And what's the world that you're in that will be the context for our conversations around AI?
Sure. I'm glad you noted the word curious there, and I was reflecting on how I kind of wanted to pitch myself here because there's a lot of ways I could do it. I think that is the defining word of what I do is I can do a lot of things. It's sort of the jack of all trades, master of none, maybe a few. But it's curiosity and following ideas wherever they go, really obsessing over the how does this work and why does it work the way that it does. So I apply that to a lot of different areas. I was a writer. When we first connected, we bonded over being English majors who quickly faced the reality of what it's like to bring that degree into the world and have people be like, I don't really see any money here.
Yep.
It's true. But I think, I'm probably getting ahead of myself here, but, one of the things that I've appreciated about you and I working together, the thing that made me want to work with Titan, kind of the first thing was the values page and the way you articulated what your company was about and how you think about things. You articulated the why and the how in this very clear and human and nuanced, and concise way. Common language. Like it just hit me so clearly that this was a group of people that, were thinking about things the way that I wanted to refine my own thoughts and get sort of the machinery a little bit tighter. I've completely gone off the rails with this question here now, but like, professionally, I was at Groupon for the bulk of my career, which was an interesting experience watching the entire life cycle of that company from sort of the halcyon days of it being this like startup darling, the fastest growing company ever, whatever. The main thing I took away from that was working as part of an editorial team where we valued language. That was the defining part of that brand. Was we had all of the writers who graduated into the recession with no way forward wound up here. So I was just surrounded by all these really cool creative people, at actors, comedians, musicians, writers, screenplay writers, and everyone was working on stuff outside of work. That was a prerequisite to the job. As they would interview you and say like, what's the thing you do outside of work? I was a songwriter, I was a filmmaker, and dabbling in all sorts of creative stuff. So I got to kind of bring that natural creativity that I've always had that's in there, that is a blessing and a curse throughout life, and marry that with operationalization of it. We had I was like a 200-person editorial team, I think, at the high watermark, which is is insane to even imagine now that like we had fact checkers. We had people that we paid to just check the facts. That was a whole team. I think about this sometimes and like the layers of quality that we had, and it was really run like a newspaper for a while there. So, that was a formative experience. I transitioned into more of like a video and content production side. So, I was writing and producing and directing, brand and marketing content videos. And then in the last kind of phase of my time there, I transitioned into functionally like an associate content director role. Worked on a lot of like big global brand campaigns, marketing stuff. But through the whole way, the process has been, shaping ideas. And, I always try to bring it back to like the thing that, again, full circle here, the thing that connected me to Titan was like the human aspect of it. And I know that gets thrown around a lot, and I'm sure we're going to talk about that today, but like
Will do. Well, thank you so much for hanging out today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, man. It was great.
The rest of you, we will see you all next time.